Virgo, hello, Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to the channel. Please check out the description box below where you will find links to my Facebook page and my website address to get a little bit more information around the work that I do as an intuitive energy healer. On the channel, you will find in-depth fortnightly and monthly readings for empaths, intuitives, and sensitives. And also, new to my Instagram page is the quick read, okay? The quick reads are a weekly energetic check-in for each of the zodiacs to see how your week might be progressing. So they're just brief 2 to 3 minute videos which might appeal, okay? So on all of my readings, I do a bit of a cosmic recap about the energies at play. So this is your first time here, please do go ahead and check out your June readings thus far. We've got 6 planets in retrograde this month. Technically, in all of the videos, I've been saying 5 because there is only a 1 or 2 day difference between one planet coming out of retrograde and another going into retrograde, all right? But essentially speaking, the energy since April has very much been taking us back to blueprint, back through the timeline, back to the past, where we've learned about love, connection, and intimacy, where we've learned how we've allowed ourselves to take advantage of opportunity for growth, or how we've perhaps pushed it away in fear. We're questioning the rules and boundaries in which we've been told to live by, the ones we want to create for ourselves now that we are older, now that we know better, we do better as we ascend, while we're on this ascension path or journey, whatever the case may be. All all planetary activities are cyclical, all right? So these are the beautiful opportunities at play with the current retrogrades being Venus, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and now Mercury, okay? In the final 2 weeks of June, which is what this reading is for, it wraps up the final 2 weeks of the month for you. The 15th to the 30th of June, we're going to be seeing a new moon in Cancer. We're going to be seeing a solar eclipse in Cancer, as well as Mercury enters retrograde in Cancer. So there's a lot of cosmic mother energy, okay? It is all about nurture. And yes, as is the case with all retrogrades, we get taken back to the past. Awakening. I just had this card for the Cancer reading. You are awakening to the next level of self. Number 2 is the number of polarities. It's the number of partnerships. It is a number of merging higher self to human self, okay? Shadow self to light self. Whatever the case may be, Virgo, you are awakening to the next level of your experience. The next level of your experience in any of the themes I've already mentioned, thanks to the retrograde energies that are at play for us all right? But more importantly, this is an awakening to that next version of you. But let's see what the tarot wants to say for my lovely Virgos. I give the cards. Doesn't matter how much I shuffle. Like, I think in nearly every June reading, the Lovers card has shown up. A lot of the readings, the Devil card has shown up. I should do a video on the unique energies at play and how they've been depicted by the tarot cards. Because it doesn't matter how much I shuffle, the same messages are wanting to come through for the zodiacs. But make no mistake, Virgo, head on down to the description box below and check out the link that I've provided for Natal Chart generators, okay? You are more than just your sun sign of Virgo. You're also a moon sign, a Venus sign, a Jupiter sign, whatever the case may be. So you might be connected into those other zodiacs in that way, whether it's with another person. You might have those zodiacs in your chart somewhere, okay? So that's where the zodiac readings can all sort of intertwine too. Just might put this music. Sorry, Virgo, I have noticed my the volume on my music has been a little bit more concert rather than healing reading. Okay, let's take a look and see what the tarot wants to say for you, my lovely Virgos that I'm connecting into. King of Swords, Ace of Swords, 9 of Wands in the past. That's great transition energy, actually. King of Cups above all this. Below this is the 5 of Cups. What's likely to happen next is the 4 of Wands, which ties in beautifully to your awakening card. The 5 of Wands, the Moon, the Page of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands to wrap it up. All right, got quite a lot of people involved. death and transformation is underneath all of this, okay? Death and rebirth is very much a theme of, you know, we're in an ecliptical window. We've got this Cancer eclipse, solar eclipse coming up, but make no mistake, Virgo, from the beginning of June, we had a Sagittarius full moon lunar eclipse, okay? And it's that period now, ecliptical cycles, ecliptical energy, okay, can span 6 months. So obviously the last 6 months have been relevant in many ways. But as we get a solar eclipse, so the last solar eclipse in Cancer, you might be pertaining to themes back in December or November last year, but there's an ending here, and with endings come beginnings, but also more importantly for you in particular, there's a lot of clarity after coming out of a time of hesitation and holding back, all right? So the death card shows up to remind us that with all endings come new beginnings, and certainly we are awake. When we are awakening to the next level of ourself, an old version of ourselves must die, naturally speaking, you know, old ways of thinking, doing, being, loving, whatever the case is. Scorpio season might be relevant for you, so we're going back to October, November last year. Alrighty, you kick off your reading with the King of Swords and the Ace of Swords crossing it. You are cutting away, you are getting clear, you are leveling up, especially in the realms of thought body, okay? Your consciousness, the way in which you allow your thoughts to, the way in which you've mastered your thoughts to your benefit so that you can cut out what no longer resonates. And, you know, when we're working with the thought body, we can use it to our advantage, Virgo, so that we're cutting away confusing emotions. We're cutting away confusing passions, because the Wands energy, the fire body, the passions can get to a point where they're heated. The Cups energy, the emotional body, can get to a point where it's in balance, that we feel overwhelmed and we're drowning. Take it however it resonates. When the King of Swords shows up, we're dealing, you know, you can be dealing with either an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. Those zodiac seasons might be relevant for you. So the recent, the current Gemini season, the recent Aquarius season, whatever the case is, you're getting clear, you're leveling up, you're reviewing the ways in which you're thinking about your path, purpose. You're awakening to a better way of doing things. More importantly, with a clearer thought pattern, okay? You might be cutting away an Aquarius, Gemini, or a Libra, okay? But you're certainly graduating, you're getting clear. There's some strong clarity here, okay? And that can pertain to the pathway in which you want to experience yourself, all right? In any area, okay? Underneath all this is emotional loss, and above all this is the King of Cups. So this ties into what I was saying, by engaging at a mastery level, because that's what the kings and queens are, okay? They have mastered their suits. The King of Swords has mastered his thoughts, and he is now acting on them, all right? The Queen of Swords is a master of her thoughts, but she is intuiting. She's going in, she's mulling things over, okay? But not in an unhealthy way, all right? So the Queen energy goes internal, goes into the womb, if you like, intuits, nurtures. The King energy as a masculine energy goes out to act, all right? But you're acting from a strong mental space, okay? You're acting from a clear thought pattern, clear knowing. You're getting clear on what needs to be cut away. And when I said earlier about, you know, even if that's how we handle our emotions or our passions or whatever the case may be, above and below these two cards tells a beautiful story of how you've been able to master emotional loss. You've come to a point of emotional mastery, all right, when it comes to how you hold and house your emotions, recent losses, past losses, because underneath everything and the need for this consciousness upgrade, this upgrade to your thought patterns, underneath all of this was emotional loss that you perhaps allowed to stagnate. It allowed you to only see what was lost, okay? See how he doesn't notice the Two of Cups, which offers opportunity, which offers reciprocity, which offers a new beginning. The Two of Cups energy as a card is the beginning of love, all right? In all its forms, not just in connection. He can't see that. He's not interested in a new beginning. He's nowhere near ready for a new beginning because he's way too focused on the Three of Cups that was spilt. The Three of Cups energy is a celebration of a relationship. It's an engagement. It's a party. It's a coming together of, you know, it's beautiful, happy joy. So in the emotional realms, which is what the cups rule, if I've lost, if I've spilt joy, if I've spilt if something has toppled over, ended, if I've lost it, you know, of course, naturally I'm going to feel this loss energy. But the Five of Cups as a card tells a story that when we're focused simply on that, we're never going to see the Two of Cups in any form that it crosses our path. We're not ready to receive a beginning in any way because we're still dealing with this loss. But look at this river in the background, you know. Endings happen for a reason. You know, we must accept endings so that we can embark on genuine beginnings, okay? And stagnating in simply the truth of an ending will keep us stagnant there, will keep us stagnant in a grief energy, you know? But as is with the river, okay? No, what is that saying, that poem? No spot in the river can be re-entered the same way twice, okay? Because the river is always flowing. Life is always flowing. Endings are a very natural part of a cyclical process that exists in Mother Nature, that exists in our lives, that exists in the experience within the cosmos. The true nature of life is cyclical, and endings must happen so that beginnings can happen too. And off we go, all right? Staying stuck here, focused simply on an ending, is almost defeating, simply because we're trying to focus so strongly on re-entering a river at the exact same time, at the exact same place. No two things can be, nothing can be recreated in exactly the same way. That happened for a reason. That emotional loss had to happen, had to be felt like that. And it is up to us to decide how long we stagnate in that energy, yeah, before we turn around and notice there's two cups. Because underneath all this, there was emotional mastery. There was a way in which your emotional body was trying to teach you how to hold loss, how to understand loss, how to master your emotions thanks to the King of Cups. And in mastering our emotions, we can then choose to master our thoughts. There's a lot of heart and mind balancing here. It's a mastery of the heart and a mastery of the mind to really help us understand endings, to really help us understand loss and how we deal with that, to get clear on what truly is best for us, what truly nurtures us, you know, and it is our own, because this is in the past, it is our own inaction and holding back, you know, that keeps us from opportunity in all its forms, Virgo. You know, the Nine of Wands is holding back and holds back from life, you know, because they're perhaps stagnant and stuck and not clear, not mentally clear about what is the best way to think about this, what is the best way to hold my emotions, okay? The Five of Cups, there's not much happening there. It's almost to a point when we start to feel very, very, very stagnant, okay? And this sense of holding back and waiting, you know, life can't grow from there. It becomes heavy. It turns into the Ten of Wands, this burden that we can no longer carry. And when our passions, which is what the Wands rule, our passions, our creativity, our confidence, when that fire body, okay, that wand body, stagnates to a point that it gets so heavy that it turns into the Nine and Ten of Wands, we cannot experience it in its true glory, which is the gift of the Ace of Wands. It is a divine spark of life, excitement, confidence, passion, purpose. We lose our passion, we lose our creativity in some form. It dilutes, it stagnates too, simply because the emotions are connected to the fire body, okay? The emotions are ruled by the sacral chakra. What's likely to happen next is an awakening, all right? An awakening. You've really transformed something here from the head, from the heart. You've overcome a loss. You're no longer holding back on some level. I'm connecting into many Virgos that have identified what energy feels like home to them. The Four of Wands is the awakening card. It is the 1111 card. It's an awakening, like, you know, an 11, if I add them together, is 2. 1 and 1 is 2. All right, we're mastering intuition here. We're mastering the next level of ourselves in many ways when it comes to what and who feels like home, okay? The Four of Wands is a promise of being able to come home into, you know, into that clarity, into that knowing, into that awakening, that this is the 2 eyes, the 2 arms, the 4 walls that I choose to call home. And that energy is thus reflected in everything, our career choices, our projects, our passions, our relationships. There's been a leveling up here, okay, in the emotional body, in the thought body, and the way in which you allow that to fuel you and ultimately create your home, your peace, your sanctuary, so that it is naturally reflected in the world around you, okay? And the influence here has been recently conflict. The influence of all of this, there's 2 5s on the bottom. We've got the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Cups right next to each other. Underneath all of this, the influencing energy is this 5. There's change, okay? 55. 5 is the number of change. 5 is the number of karma, karmic change, okay? We're feeling like we're in competition. We're in competition with something. We're in competition between our head and heart. We're in competition with others. We're having to fight off conflict. We're having to fight for what's rightfully ours. Peace of mind and clarity is rightfully yours, Virgo. Emotional mastery and calmness and peace is rightfully yours. A sense of not wanting to hold back anymore is rightfully yours, you know. We know then which battles are worth engaging in, and we pick our battles wisely, you know. But conflict has perhaps tipped the scales over for you in order to embark on this journey, remembering what the original game plan is. The 4 of Wands occurs before the 5 of Wands. You're going back in many ways about the original plan when it comes to how you want to experience your emotions, how you want to experience your thoughts. You're awakening to a new way of experiencing self and really engaging those 2 parts of you to your benefit, whether it falls in the realms of love, whether it falls in the realms of your passion for your career path, your purpose, your creativity, the friendships in your life, you know. Conflict has been a valuable teacher. So too has intuition. And it is underneath the moonlight that we're not quite sure about what steps to take. Okay? We're being asked, we're almost being demanded to use our intuition because we cannot see. All right, we cannot see the path ahead. And if I'm stagnant in an ending, I'm definitely not looking to even want to be interested in the path ahead. I'm definitely not seeing it. This was about you looking up, okay? This was about you looking up to see what next. This is about you looking up to see, okay, if life can look like this, all right, when I didn't follow my intuition perhaps, if life can be like this, can it also be like this? Very different energy. So you're going backwards, okay, from the 5 to the 4. You're going back to original dream, an original idea, original truth about how to experience yourself when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your thoughts, how to experience yourself mirrored in a connection, mirrored in your reality, your relationship to your career path, whatever the case is. You're going back to something once hoped for, I guess is what I'm trying to say here, okay? Intuitively, you knew that conflict had to happen for a reason, had to be sparked for a reason, okay? In your hopes and fears, you've got the Page of Pentacles. There's an offer here, okay? There's a tangible offer here. All right, and the Page of Pentacles is inviting you, or is even perhaps even a part of you. You're wanting to make a step forward, but perhaps the thing that's holding you back is this and this. Has things truly changed? Have things within me truly changed? is this real? This upgrade to my thoughts, my emotions, is it real? Or am I going to revert back to old ways? Am I going to revert back to old feelings because of circumstances? Am I going to re-experience loss? This is at play subconsciously for a lot of Virgos in many ways, because this is sitting in your hopes and fears, this tangible offer. This is the only coin on the table so far. The coins represent Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, okay? But it's a tangible, I can see it, I know it, okay? So because I'm dealing with Virgos here that are strong in their thoughts, getting very crystal clear in the head after a time of holding back and being uncertain. When we're ruled by wands, we're ruled by our passions, our fears, our anger, our whatever the case may be, okay? We're ruled by the fire body, which is almost like instinctual. So instinct is different to intuition. It's reactionary. It can easily entice us into fear. It can easily entice us into anger, just as easily entice us into the passions, for better or worse, whatever the case may be. But I'm holding back, all right? But I'm now suddenly clear in the head. I'm emotionally balanced. This is emotional mastery, okay? Thought mastery. But there's this karmic balancing that wants to happen here with the 2 5s, okay? Because if I'm hesitant to accept this tangible beginning, it's perhaps because I'm reverting back to old ways, old thoughts, old fears, old beliefs, okay? Which is trying to desperately die. And you're probably going to experience that push-pull. You're probably going to experience that reflected in your connections. You're going to, be drawn back to the past, people from the past, memories of the past in many ways, and that when I did that it ended like this, or you're going to be enticed back into old ways of doing. But there's this confirmation of an upgrade here, Virgo, and I really want to pull extra cards to see how that, because it's a reignition of your fire bodies, and I'll tell you why. Because you end your reading, okay, you end your reading with the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands, she turns heads when she walks into a room. She exudes confidence. So does the King of Wands, okay? This is like it's boastful energy. It's confident energy. It's maybe in the past, okay, that this truly did, this loss, this conflict grated on your creative body, your fire body, because it's ruled by the wands, your emotional body, so much so that this was a distant memory. The last time, when was the last time you could say you were feeling 100% confident, feeling 100% sensual, feeling 100% creative, and just like you owned the room when you walked in it, because you held back, because life did stuff, and there were processes here that something had to come to an end, an old version of you, an old memory, an old reality, an old way of experiencing your emotions and your creativity, your emotions and your passions. Something had to end here. There was a karmic balancing that had to end, so you could truly embrace the fire, okay, the wands, for one of its greatest gifts. When the Queen of Wands shows up, when we're feeling that energy, you are protected. See the black cat? You are protected from anything that can impede on that beautiful glow. And it is amazing. It can even be intimidating, Virgo. This is the energy in which empaths and sensitives become so used to holding back. They don't want to glow too brightly. How dare they be happy? How dare you be confident? How dare you be successful? Because there's so many other people that you need to think about and their feelings. And you don't want to cause conflict, because you know what conflict and emotional loss feels like, and your success. Okay? Wow. There's a tangible offer here. And in many ways, you've held back from life. You've held back from truly engaging in the gift of the wands, the gift of the fire body, the creative body, the passion body. You've held back because of the past, because of conflict, because the passions can lead to conflict, because emotions can lead to loss, okay? 2 5s, okay? 5 is the number of change. When I add them together, it's a 10, and that's a beginning. It is a 1 and a 0 point. Because There's an ending. All right, there is an end here. Wow, I've just noticed the cards. Wait for it. All right. There is a story here, Virgo. There is a story here about your creativity, your sensuality, your confidence in who you are, and how that strongly ties into your emotional body and your thought body, so that you can actually make manifest in the tangible. All right, cups, swords, wands, coins, you've got everything here. But this particular journey was about you not just, look, you've got 3 masters, okay, I'm going to call them masters. The kings and queens are masters of their suit. Emotions, thoughts, creativity and passions. You have mastered. That's ended. Sorry, I'm just changing the music. This is an upgrade to your emotional body, your thought body, and your energy body. You learned a lot thanks to conflict. You've learned a lot about emotional loss. You've learned a lot about the value of endings. You have remembered the value of the 4 of Wands and how that feels to come home to peace. And our home is in here first before it can be anywhere else, Virgo. And when we were going in here, how much did it feel like this? How much, when we went in here, did it feel like that? How much did our passions feel like, genuinely like this? That's what this gift is, this offer. Life has offered you this awakening, this gift. Whatever has shifted, whatever has changed, whatever has entered your life and exited your life, your higher self has offered you something tangible here so you can learn the true value of endings and beginnings, and more importantly, upgrades. You are leveling up, my dear friend. Make no mistake. Watch this. There's an ending here. There's a death, okay? It's Scorpio energy for sure, but it's the fire of, it's the line of the phoenix. You know, we're rising from the ashes. What happens after all of this has been integrated? Divine love, okay? This has shown up for every single zodiac, guys. But we are learning about the mastery of this and how divine love is ultimately something. It's an energy, an experience, an awakening that happens internally first before it can be experienced externally and within our outside reality, within a connection, within our experience of life, whatever the case may be, Virgo. This energy happens internally first, okay? Venus retrograde has been a massive gift, and it leaves retrograde at the end of this month, okay? Venus retrograde has invited us on a journey, along with the other retrogrades. They've all done a pattern, okay, about some deeper wisdoms to help us really learn what we've learned about love, how it was modeled to us, how we've experienced it along the way, the ways in which we've decided, okay, I don't want to experience it like that again, lesson learned. The ways in which we've decided to incorporate our intuition, our intuitive knowing, our higher knowing about the difference between conditional and unconditional love, the difference between the ego self and ego motivations, and the divine self and divine motivations. All right? The truth of the Lovers card is the serpent is always there. I wonder if you've got the Devil card. I can't see it. Okay, but the Devil card, I've been getting it alongside the Lovers card quite a lot in a lot of readings. And it is this, I might even show you just quickly because I feel the need to show you how not far away and how, where is it? There you are. The Devil card, you know, yeah, in traditional tarot, it's not exactly the same. And in all my readings, I'm calling it the same. Wow, guys, look at this. Okay, 6 and 15. 1 and 5 is equal to 6. All right? Take a look at these two cards. It's the same couple, yeah? Same couple, but they are led by different ideals. I'm not going to say higher or lower. This is the human self, the shadow self, when we're operating out of fear. This is the higher self, when we're operating out of love. And we are very much on a massive journey in the last few months with these retrogrades about what divine love actually means for us, how we're experiencing that genuine honesty and authenticity within self so that we can experience it in another. All right, the serpent is always present in our experience. No matter how rainbow and fluffy our experience is, the serpent is always there as a temptation. And you can call that temptation anything you want. We can be tempted by our fears. We can be tempted by our passions. We can be tempted by returning back and reverting back to old ways, or whatever the case may be. We can be tempted by unhealthy thought patterns that lead us to fear. Whatever it is, okay? The serpent is a land animal. All right, the serpent comes down from the tree then, and then where does it go? Heads into the underworld. And if we follow that serpent, where does it take us? To a different reality altogether. Yeah? The difference here, besides the fact that there's a lot of darkness, these guys feel stuck and bound. These guys are not. They're there in freedom, in free will and choice. Okay, that's okay, sure, there's a lot of differences. How do you want to experience your relationship with yourself, Virgo? Like this or like that? Because it will ultimately always be the mirror to how you experience everything outside of you. The energy in which we're vibrating to internally will always draw forth connections of exactly the same frequency, and we will experience those connections like this, or we will experience those connections like this. Okay, and a very big part of awakening is about getting raw and real, and that blinding light of the sun is clarity. That vitality is golden. It is golden. It no longer feels dark. It is golden, okay? Okay, so with the Phoenix fire, with the rising of the Phoenix, you have experienced divine love within self. You have a gift to do so. Not, you know, this is the frequency that's available, guys. We all have free will and choice. We can follow that down, or we can have free will and choice. That's what it comes down to, all right? This is all about awakening to a greater version of yourself, where you have this, where you have this, and you have this. Okay? And this is a reality. All right? This Phoenix fire invites us this month, as you close off the final 2 weeks, Virgo, to experience this and truly decide and see what's worth taking and truly wanting to work on it. I keep looking at the 8 of coins in this deck as a 7 of coins. I was going to say evaluating. You're committed to this, okay? The 8 of coins is a commitment card. I'm committed to working and toiling this. And I'm going to display it proud and sure of myself. These are the fruits of your labor, the results of your choices, the productions you've built as a result of this awakening, this journey, this new way of being and experiencing self, okay? This is career success, tangible success. The 6 of coins as a different card highlights to us a need for equal reciprocity. I suddenly realize I'm giving too much. I suddenly realize there's an imbalance here that needs to be equalized, yeah? It doesn't mean that it's been equalized, because the 7 of coins then talks about wanting to evaluate everything so that we can determine, all right? But when we get to the 8 of coins, we are not only getting our equal share of what we give, we are getting more than. It's like this amplification energy that happens, all right? So, for example, practically speaking, I finally found a job that pays so much more than I've ever been paid before, because I am worth it, because the effort I put in is that. I've finally found something to mirror back to me, not just equally, but more than. Yeah, it's like abundance plus. It's an abundance card. I'm committed to working on that and continuing that energy. And look, it quickly amplifies into the Ten of Coins. This is the Dynasty card. All right, this is like the happily ever after. It's the, it is a marriage, it is a commitment, it is the dynasty. It's you building long-term success based on these frameworks, based on this new level of yourself that you have now integrated all those past wisdoms and lessons, all right? Ways in which to experience your emotions, in which to experience love, the ways in which to experience your thoughts, and how your beliefs have ultimately hindered you or grown you, the ways in which you experience your fire body, okay? And how you allow yourself to experience confidence because of it, all right? There's long-term success and commitment to this as a dynasty for you. Apply that wherever it resonates, okay? Within a connection, within yourself, within your relationship to yourself. It's beautiful stuff, guys. After a time of overwhelm and feeling like I have so many so many choices now, okay? It's like life suddenly opens up a whole banquet of choice, where before, in the Five of Cups, this is the Seven of Cups, I didn't even know that there was a choice because I couldn't even see the two behind me. And suddenly this commitment, this awakening, this awareness, this next level of yourself, this learning and integrating from the past, this decision to do new ways, okay, opens up a banquet of opportunity. You can almost call this your hungover card, because you've got more, what's worse than one option is two, but here you are with seven. All right, but you're firm and certain, I guess, is what I want to say when the Knight of Pentacles wants to show up. You are in your element here, guys. All right, it's been a slow integration, yes. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest of the knights, but he is guaranteed out of all of them to make it to the king, okay? Because he is thorough, he is committed, he is doesn't rush things, okay? He's not ruled by his passions, he's not ruled by irrational thought or unbalanced emotions. He's slow and steady so he can have time to, to think things through and decide what it is that he wants to commit to, what path he wants to travel on. This is real, okay? You're very clear on what you want to commit to, what you're ascending into, okay? More importantly, what you're allowing to die within you and around you. All right, and this is a remembrance, past life memory, okay, childhood memory. All right, this is congeniality, connections that feel familiar to the point that they could be past lives, connections from childhood, memories from childhood is what I want to say. There was an original point in your timeline, okay, that for the most part, in many ways, you might have been thinking love and loss was like this. That experiencing passion and creativity and excitement was eventually ended up in this. But there was a time, a congenial time, where you knew that when you offered your cup, it would be reciprocated and received, and look at all the daisies and the beautiful scene. It's just congenial, yeah, is the Six of Cups. There's a memory here. You are awakening to an old memory, an old way of doing, being, loving. Despite the hiccups, despite the roadblocks, despite the hurts that have filtered your path, perhaps, is what I want to say. This is about going back to an original, when we are born, we've got no concept of what mistrust feels like. We've got no concept of disappointment or pain or betrayal, because we've only just begun our journey. It's almost like that, getting back to the blueprint of what, because the cups is ruled by love, getting back to the blueprint, original essence, aligning with those that feel like home in that regard, okay? That and which, that and who feels like home, congenial. The original plan, the original goal, my original idea about love and how I offer my cup fully, okay? So that you can get into the highest essence of you. This is you. You are the King of Pentacles. This is a commitment. This is strong knowing about who I am, what I will and won't connect into, commit to, what I will and won't let go. Whatever the case may be, this is a commitment. This is marriage. This is also, goodness me, the Nine of Coins is also ruled by Virgo, and it's the pre-Empress card, okay? It's about manifestation. All right, guys? Awakening to you. Awakening to where you have meant to be, like where you were meant to be on your path, okay? Everything has been of purpose, the pains, the losses, but what has to go, you know, has happened so that, you know, you could clear that stagnancy perhaps, because it was preventing you from awakening to this next level of yourself, of where you've meant to be on the timeline. Like, that's what I was picking up with this. It's like connecting into the blueprint of your soul's timeline so that you are now aligned to where you were meant to be. That's what I'm feeling, okay? That's many Virgos are going to close the final 2 weeks of the month feeling that way. There's going to be a deeper, intuitive soul knowing about that everything had to happen exactly as it did, you know, and with that we can give a full heart of thanks because it taught us and led us to exactly here, if that makes sense. I always look at the timeline as a clock, you know, it's not like that's the past and that's the future and I could go right and I could go left. It's all of life and multi-dimensional aspects of self is always a circle. I can tap into it at any moment to just recalibrate and decide, is this where I want to be right now? What did I learn? What did I gain? What do I want to take with me? You know? We are time masters, Virgo. All right. That one wants to flip. Magic! I love it. Such a cute... These are my daughter's cards. Oracle of the Unicorns, okay? And I'm not sure if I told you at the start, the Awakening card is from The Secret Language of Light by Denise Jarvie. All right, and we're finishing your reading today with the Oracle of the Unicorns, and you got the Unicorn of Magic. Look at that, beautiful. There's fairies. You are the magician. You are magic. Life is magic. Make a wish. Believe in miracles because magic surrounds you. You are exactly where you need to be. And stepping into the highest expression of yourself, allowing yourself to experience divine love within so that you could experience an awakening and a next level of yourself when it comes to your energy, your confidence, your passions, your emotions and your thoughts, Virgo, so that all of them together combined take you to that next level of yourself. Awaken to the magic that is you. Beautiful, huh? So are you. I hope you've enjoyed your final 2 weeks of June reading. If you haven't already, please do go ahead and check out the Instagram page where you'll see each week the quick read. I'll do a quick energy check-in for all of the zodiacs. This message resonates and you've enjoyed your reading today, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And of course, let other empaths know about the channel because it is for you guys. All of these readings and healings are about connecting empaths into their awakening journey, okay? All right, my lovely Virgos, I'm going to leave it there. Until July, I'll see you then. Enjoy the final 2 weeks of June. Namaste.